we go. And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Rotten Apples Film Review. I'm your host, John Galligan, and we got Mario back here again.
Hello.
We're going to review The Gentleman.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so Guy Ritchie's film that we saw just last night, and I will say that it was highly entertaining, really exciting. The story was, it's got that typical Guy Ritchie kind of...
That kind of Guy Ritchie feeling where you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah, and the dialogue is fantastic. It's edgy and clever, witty, and it's humorous. I'll just say right off the bat, Hugh Grant knocked it out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was absolutely stellar. I never seen him act like that before.
Neither have I, because normally we're used to seeing him in like romantic comedies, like rom-coms.
He
and to see him go into a role like that where he gained like a few pounds, you can tell he gained a few pounds because he's normally not that big of a guy.
Yeah.
But the way he did the role and delivered dialogue so smoothly. And his comedic timing in that was perfect. He had me rolling on the floor with some of the stuff he said.
He was great. He had that great, I guess it's northern, is it northern England or southern?
It's a Cockney accent. It sounds a little bit like this.
I wouldn't know where it geographically is, but whatever that accent is, of that like I guess, all right, governor, or whatever that is.
Say, all right, governor, have a cup of tea.
It's like, it's pretty spot on. And I definitely enjoyed McConaughey, who's always good.
Yes,
he's always sharp, and he played the role perfectly. And I really liked Colin Farrell. I thought his role was hilarious. I mean, I thought some of the things he was doing was so funny. It's definitely rewatchable. It's a rewatchable film. I enjoyed it. I know you did. I heard you laughing.
I was laughing constantly. There were so many great scenes in there where I was just laughing. And even some of the stuff that they were saying, it was like, keep in mind, Guy Ritchie was born in England, so it's a very dry humor kind of film, like a dry humor. Yeah. And that's what the British people love. And you're hearing some of these expressions, and you're like, boy, you never hear this in America.
Yeah.
But what Matthew McConaughey brought to the film, he brought a little bit of an American flavor. Because his character was a guy who lived in a trailer park in like Florida or wherever.
And then he
came to Oxford for school.
Yeah.
So and his wife
got involved with marijuana.
Yeah, he got involved with marijuana and he became the kingpin.
Yeah, and it was great, man. There was some rivalries with the crime bosses and all that kind of stuff. The shots, the edits, they were stellar. I mean, they were beautiful. There was some like throwback to like certain kinds of film, and the way he like incorporated the cuts. It was really.
I like what they did in the beginning with the smoke.
Oh the intro. That was great.
That was fantastic.
That was great. Yeah.
Normally you don't see intros like that, but to see something like that and the way that they cut it and the way they edited it, and it was really great. I was surprised. And another thing that I liked was in the beginning of the movie, where Hugh Grant's character was like trying to set the story, and how they switched over to like a original, like old school kind of like black and white.
Oh
Like an old camera, and then it looked like like I don't know how to explain it. He knows it better than I do, but
Well, I think it was anamorphic that they did it, and they had it. The way they had it done was really. I mean, they blended it perfectly.
Yeah,
it was just so good. I enjoyed also Charlie Hunnam. I think it's Hunnam. I don't know.
I think it's Hunnam.
Hunnam, Charlie Hunnam or Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam, his performance was great too.
Absolutely.
But I mean, he was more of like the straight man of the.
He was that character that was very straightforward.
Yeah.
But don't make him mad.
Right.
Because then he will do some sadistic stuff.
Right. Those scenes were cool too.
They were great.
Those were great things.
Like
that was
when they were looking for that guy's daughter.
Yes.
He was like, I'm gonna play it really nice and straightforward with you.
Yeah.
It's like, we want her.
Spoiler alert.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So he's like like in the mafia, he's the consigliere to the boss. And
Consigliere, yeah.
And in this case, Matthew McConaughey's character, Michael, is the head, and his character is the consigliere, which he goes and does the boss's dirty work.
And Dry Eye, the Asian guy, that was cool. Like how they tied it all in, and there was some really cool stuff that went on. And I definitely, but I can't stress it enough. I mean, Guy Ritchie, I think he wrote, directed, produced. I mean, the guy was behind the scenes of everything. And yeah, and it's definitely Guy Ritchie's film. Like, it's his style. Like Scorsese has a style, like Lucas or Spielberg, and they have their own style about doing things. Guy Ritchie definitely has his own style, and this is finally him coming back into that after doing. He like strayed a little bit into some other.
He did Sherlock Holmes, Aladdin, which by the way is a great film, by the way. So,
all right.
But some people might.
That's another review for another time.
Yeah.
But he he went back into his style, and Snatch from Snatch.
Oh,
it's kind of like that kind of style, and I loved it. It was right back to where it belonged, and I mean, I definitely think it was a very good movie. I would give it it's a high 8. I would give it an 8 out of 10 apples.
I would go for a low 9. A low 9, like 9.1, 9.2.
That's reasonable. I could see it giving 8 or 9. I could definitely see it getting. I mean, I would watch it again. It's rewatchable. In that regard, it's rewatchable. I mean, some aspects, some 10s maybe aren't rewatchable, but some are. For me, this one's a rewatchable film. It's because it's so fun. It moves. The pacing is fun. The humor is fun. And Colin Farrell is hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. So
it's very, very watchable, very entertaining, and it can emotionally grab you. I thought it emotionally grabbed me, especially in some scenes, the way they did it. And how I also look at things is I look at things like I always put myself in that position. Like if I was this character, would I do the same thing or would I do things a little bit differently?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's what that's what they go for, and I think that they accomplished that with this film. So, I mean, I recommend it. It's 8 out of 10 to me. Anything 8 or above is a great film to watch, and this one was definitely it's an 8 or a 9. If you said 9, I wouldn't disagree. Yeah. It's definitely a good story. I just said 8 because I mean I felt that if it had a flaw, I would think there were moments where the humor was so much, but I wouldn't change it. But the humor was so much, it kind of detached me a little. Sometimes it happens with humor. And that story, it kind of flip-flops, how it how it is. And I think that kind of stuff, it kind of like removes you from the film. Because you're like, wait, what's going on? And then, and that's the idea. That's the idea. They want it to be like one of those things where you have to figure it out. But there's a certain thing that happens when you do that. And you lose something, and what they lose there is those moments where you have to think, and it's that kind of like that. It's like almost like a bunch of 180s happen.
Absolutely.
It's like you thought this happened, and then it's like it didn't happen, but then something else happened, but then you find out that something else didn't happen, and then you're like reeling, and it was going for that, and that was what it was going for.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like supposed to give you like that mind blown moment. Like my mind just got completely blown.
Right.
But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's just there was one part of it where it felt like it came a little earlier than you wanted to.
Yeah.
And it just that's why I gave it a low 9 is because it came in a little too early when I wanted to be more further in instead of where it actually came.
Yeah. So, I guess we both are fans of the film, and we hope you check it out.
Please do.
Yeah, and so like, comment, subscribe.
Please.
And we'll see you next time.